Hey guys, before I get started with the gameplay, I want to make it dreadfully clear that this is an early access title, and as such does not reflect the quality of the end game. So any reviews or statements that I make about the game are only about this particular build. So keeping that in mind, enjoy the video guys. Hey guys, it's BearInABackpack, and I'm here to bring to you a preview of Monsters and Monocles that was recently released on Steam on Early Access. So kind of what I want to do with this video is to give you guys an idea of what it's like to play through the game, what your abilities are, what characters are available, the guns, that kind of thing, and also give a little bit of a review of the game itself at its current state. So let's just get started. So the interesting thing I've noticed so far is I want to let you guys know that I don't have a controller plugged in right now. So it's a little weird that they're giving all the controls for controller, because I'm using a mouse and keyboard, so that's a little weird. So your options for characters are Rupert Killingsworth, Lady Cannonhale, Baron Von Dogface, and Monobot. So my favorite character is Baron Von Dogface, just because, I like dogs. Dogs are cool. So I'm going to play as him for this one. Oh, or Lady Chainmail, because controls. Alright, we're going Lady Chainmail, or Cannonmail, or whatever. So here we are. So pretty simple. It's very similar to games like Enter the Gungeon or really like Nuclear Throne, that kind of game. Really any top-down hardcore shooter kind of game, right? So the general idea is you go through each one of these levels, and there's effectively like 2 floors and then a boss on each one. And the idea is you're supposed to clear each of these and then almost like prestige, I guess I'd call it, and then do it over again. Each time you beat it, the monsters get harder, you get better weapons. So why don't we start? Let's go to one of my favorites, which is actually the Tomb. So you can definitely tell it's very much in early access. Like for the most part, it's actually pretty good. The gun sounds are really cool. The enemy design's pretty solid. One thing you will notice after playing through a couple of these is that it's all pretty much the same type of enemy. So like for instance, these mouse guys, right? They're one-hit kills. There's a ton of them all at once. Well, they're replaced by an eye enemy later in the mansion level. Or if you notice on some of the mice, let's see if I can find one here. It's weird, like scorpion dudes. Yeah. Oh, nope. That one just blew up. Well, anywho, there's certain mice that have like little orange, I guess, like cysts or boils on the back. If you hit them, they explode. Well, that type of enemy where they go running at you and they explode kind of thing is... You can find that in every single level, so that is the same in every single one. These scorpion ones, I think they're actually one of the few that are actually unique to it. These little bat things, however, are basically the same as the skulls that you'll find in the mansion level. So, they kind of fly towards you slowly and then have a charge. So, again, pretty much the same as the skulls. And that's one of my biggest complaints of the game so far, is that it kind of lacks variety in that. I mean, they at least went through the effort of giving them different skins. But in terms of like what the enemy actually does, it's very samey. But once again, as explained in the intro to this, it is an early access title. So I'm sure they'll be adding some enemy types and animations and all that kind of stuff that'll help out a lot. But right now, that is one thing I'm not a huge fan of. But that's all right. Another thing, which I'm sure you've noticed, is I've been taking hits, and if you look real closely, I have basically no health left. None whatsoever. Now, you can't really tell that you're losing a lot of health unless you really watch your characters getting hit by stuff, because there's no real sound or indication that you got hit. There's no, like, thump or, like, ah, or anything like that. You just take damage, and you'll be fighting something and die, and you'll be like, what? But why? And then you'll be, oh, I guess I was getting hit by this thing over here. So they're really missing that really important force feedback, kind of letting you know that, oh yeah, I'm taking damage. I should not do this anymore. So that's not good. That's very much not nice. I don't like that. But instead of all these negatives, I should touch on some of the positive things. The gameplay itself is actually really fun, and the fact you can have 4-player co-op with this is even better. That makes it a lot. Yep. So case in point, while we just died there, I can bring it up. So yeah, I guess I died. Okay. Guess I'll come back now. In addition to local co-op, there's also online co-op where you can either do a friends-only game and play online, or you can play with other people across the internet. So that's nice. I'm glad they put that in there. Another special ability you have is the ability to kind of like dodge around. So if you'll notice, like if I right-click, I can do that. Now, unlike Gungeon, where you can kind of just keep dodging and dodging and dodging, and that's how you get away, you have actually quite a cooldown on it. So if you notice up in the top left corner of the screen here, this little blue bar, right? So when I dodge, if you'll watch it, it takes a long time to fill back up. So although it can get you out of some spots, you're pretty vulnerable for a while. So you can't just keep dodge rolling and hope to get away from everything. You can only do it once in a while, and you're probably going to get hit a few times in between uses. Alright, so I picked up the stake launcher now. So as you go through the game, you can of course pick up lots of different types of weapons. Some are better than others. I found that the stake launcher tends to be pretty good, especially because of its ridiculously high damage. As you can see, before with just like the basic starting revolver, it took a few hits to kill those things. 2. Just takes 2. It's very easy. Oh, yep, hey, here's one of the boil mice. So that guy. So watch, boom, explodes when you hit him. Yeah, you'll find a whole bunch of different versions of that throughout the maps. And it looks like they're eventually going to be adding new maps, which will be nice. But right now you only have the mansion, the tomb, and I forget the exact name of it, but it's basically like a city map. Now, my current objective for this level is to vanquish 4 foes. So each level has an objective like that. So sometimes it's destroy a certain number of foes, sometimes it's destroy a certain type of foe, that kind of thing. And once you do it, you unlock your way out of the levels. In between the first and second levels, you have a shop. Now, things tend to be pretty expensive, so after all that, I only have about 600 gold. The heavy machine gun is 1,000. So, yeah. But, at least the good news is that the healing items, which you tend to use quite a bit of, are actually really cheap. So I'm going to buy one of those, and we're just going to move on, and hope for the best. So, for instance, the objective in this level is to vanquish 3 super slime beasts, so I have to go searching through this level until I can find them. Which is sometimes easier said than done. So, all the levels are procedurally generated, as you would expect for this type of game, and what that can mean is that sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it's pretty damn hard. Like, the first level I ever played in the city mission was kill 128 enemies, and you just immediately got surrounded by enemies. And unlike a lot of games where if you take damage you have like a little bit of invincibility and you can move through enemies, nope, you're just going to get trapped in a corner. Now, I believe you can use your dodge to get out of that, but if it's on cooldown and then you get surrounded, you're going to take a lot of damage. Probably actually end up dying from it. So that's something I don't particularly enjoy about this, and I really wish they would change that. It's really annoying to be doing really well in a level, and then for whatever reason you get kind of trapped in a corner and you're dead. Just dead. Ow, 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 oh, yep. Well, I guess I died. Alright, and here's the boss level. Tutankhamun. And again, like you would expect from most games of this type, you fight a big boss enemy that's very bullet helly, shoots a lot of different stuff at you, has a couple different attacks, and generally has a pretty huge life bar that takes a lot of hits to kill. Nothing too special here, pretty run-of-the-mill. In terms of like design, they look pretty cool, but not really much other than that to differentiate it from the others. And luckily, like most games like this, there's a certain pattern to beating them. So as you saw there, it's just kind of learning how to avoid all the bullets. And really, it's just like a sidestep. So I got him down low enough on health that he starts doing this like wave thing. And it's a little harder to avoid than the kind of just outward burst like that, the thing he's doing now. Because the sweep, and if you try to be too close to him, it doesn't have enough time to spread out, so you don't have time to get between them. So that tends to be a huge pain. Luckily, he keeps doing this, so I can just shoot him while avoiding these pretty easily. And pretty much all the boss fights are like this, where they have like one or two main attacks they do, and then once you damage them enough, they get like a third or fourth. And they kind of just wash, rinse, and repeat. And boom, dead. And of course, as you expect, they drop a whole bunch of different loot, so now I've got a slime cannon and a couple different character upgrades. You know, fire rate upgrades, but it, you know, there's always a downside to it. So like that one was fire rate upgrade, but it overheats faster. So now I fire a lot faster, but your gun overheats. And that may not be something I explained either. So unlike in like Gungeon and stuff where it's based on ammo, you have infinite ammo here, but I'll show you here. If I just keep firing the gun, you'll notice a little orange bar underneath the gun near my like character screen right in the top left right here. So you see that little bar? If I keep firing, and then overheat. So now I can't use my gun until that goes down. So instead of ammo, they have that system. So then you gotta switch to your alternate gun and try and use that instead. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So we beat the tomb level. The one thing I've noticed is that for my own personal playthrough, I haven't really noticed that much of a difference between characters, so it doesn't really matter. They don't have a character-specific, like, upgrade or ability right now. They just a skin, really. And it'd be kind of nice to see something there, so they have some way to differentiate, or maybe, you know, like, oh, I like this character because he can do this. Right now it's like, well, it looks nice, I guess. Other than that, like, everything else, though, like quality of animation and, like, the effects are pretty good. Yeah, it just needs more polish. Throughout your playthroughs, you'll pick up relics that you can use to upgrade your character with special abilities. So for instance, like this, the burn effect on the stake launcher. It adds burning status effect to stakes. Or let's say, pickup range increases the range of an automatic coin collection by 10% per level. No matter whether you die, leave the game, come back, no matter what you do, these are persistent. You will get to keep the relics you've picked up. And you can equip 3 of them at any given time, and go back into the levels and try again. If you have enough money when you survive a level and come back, you can actually upgrade them to get them stronger and stronger. So let's say you've beaten the mansion, the tomb, and the city, and you're ready to go back through and fight stronger monsters and get better weapons. But you gotta go somewhere. You have some previous engagements or a meeting you forgot about that you have to go to and leave the game. Well, the problem is it doesn't save your progress at all. Now, the only thing it does save is the relics. But other than that, you have to start over again, so you come back in with a basic character with the basic weapons and no money whatsoever and have to start all over again. So hopefully they can fix this feature in a coming update, because right now it's really annoying. Alright guys, so that's really all I wanted to do. I just wanted to give you a quick preview of the game, tell you a little bit about what it's about, and kind of give you my opinions on how it stands at this point in development. Now, like I've been saying, I'd keep an eye on the game and definitely be aware of what they're doing with it. You know, maybe they'll fix the save feature, they'll add in some new characters, maybe some new weapons. I mean, clearly, as you can see from the map up here, they're going to be adding in new maps, stuff like that, right? So be aware of that stuff, but I wouldn't recommend purchasing your way into the early access right now. Give it some time to mature a little bit and kind of build up the content that's here. Alright guys, well that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or comment down below, and if you really like this and enjoy what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. See you next time.